Hey everybody, welcome back to another Behind the Curtains episode. My name's David and this is a Magic Review. Today we are going to look at the Invisible Triumph from Jim Krenz and Vanishing Incorporated. Alright, so what is the Invisible Triumph? What is this effect? It is a Triumph effect, okay? It's the classic Triumph effect done with a gimmicked deck. And it's 100% self-working. It is a great self-working, very easy to do, no sleights involved Triumph. What is the Triumph effect? The Triumph effect is the magician takes the deck and he shuffles it face up into face down, probably does it more than once, and then with a snap of his finger, he fans the cards across the table and the spectator can see that every single card is now righted itself, except for the one selection the spectator selected. Sounds pretty cool. Let's get into this review. All right, so self-working Triumph effect. Self-working Triumph effect, entirely gimmicked deck. Entirely gimmicked deck. So what do you get? What do you get with this? You're gonna get an entirely gimmicked deck. You're gonna get an entirely gimmicked deck. You're gonna get the download code to a instructional video. Instructional video is from Vanishing Incorporated and Jim Krenz. It'll take you out to the web, and the video itself is roughly 16 minutes long. It's really short, but it is well shot. It's got good quality, got good production value. I enjoy Vanishing Incorporated when they make instructional videos. Jim's wearing a black shirt. He's against a really soft, like blue background. He is working with a table. This is a table trick. Triumph kind of does need a table. You're fanning cards multiple times on a table surface, so definitely need to think about that. You got a lot of good waist shots, waist high shots, some close-up shots when you need them, so production value is good. He's gonna take the first 10 minutes of the video and teach you the effect, okay? And it is a routine. It is a scripted routine, and I think you should pay attention to the routine. Jim's gonna give you a couple of pointers here and there about how to remember when to do what. I kind of got ahead of the game and I grabbed my deck and tried to do it really quickly without practicing, and that was a bad thing to do because there's some things you have to remember. So it's a self-working deck, but it's not a self-working trick. You do need to like do the things that he does when he does them. There's a method to his madness that you will have to remember. So I would say definitely practice this a couple of times, more than a couple of times. Practice this until you got it down. It's a beautiful trick. It looks just like magic. So I would say give it the time it deserves. Like I said, the deck is gimmicked, the deck is self-working, but the trick is not self-working. So you have to remember some of that sequencing, okay? And the gimmick, I think, also needs some practice. The gimmick takes practice to use. It is a material that you're used to. It's an old card trick technique that is used in card tricks, okay? And Jim's using it in a very creative way in this, but it's that stuff that you either love or you hate, okay? And I think the first time I did it, I was on a good surface that the material in the deck worked great with. The second time I did it on a really slick surface and the deck did not like that surface. So I think make sure you practice with your surfaces too, okay? Because the gimmicky stuff has a tendency to sometimes flash, and you don't want to flash in this. You don't want to flash, you want everything to look perfect. So practice with that so that it becomes 100% surefire. And let me just say, I wasn't totally excited about the issue I had with the different surfaces and the deck flashing. Didn't love that, but let me just say this. I've reviewed and had some other trick decks in the past that also did a Triumph. There were also trick ways to do Triumph, and I thought, ooh, I like these. But after having done them a couple of times in a couple of different ways, I ended up never going back to them. They weren't Triumph effects. I liked how they looked, I liked the solution to them, but they just didn't work for me, and I've never gone back to those. This one I like a lot. This one I like a lot, especially watching Jim do it. It looks beautiful when he does it, and I want to do it as well as he does because this is what Triumph should look like, right? This is what Triumph should look like, that, under no cover and no funny movements or nothing, no fast shuffling, right? Everything looks very fair. The deck writes itself, and there is the spectator's selection. It looks really super clean. So I want to keep practicing this just so that I can get it right. And if you're looking for something that's a little easier to do and looks a lot more magical, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. After he teaches you the initial effect, he's going to teach you a second variation that doesn't involve a force. It's actually more of a mental thing, where the spectator can mentally select a card and then you find it. I like that one better. That's the one I do when I do this, and then he's going to give you some closing thoughts at the end of his video. The deck, of course, is well made. It is a very well made gimmick. You're going to get a red Riderback 808 deck. Everything's made from USPCC. So yeah, it doesn't stand out, doesn't look like a obscure deck, okay? Looks natural. And for the most part, the spectator is going to think that they examined it, even though they didn't. They can cut the cards, certainly, and they can certainly hold a packet in their hands and select a card. So there's that. So that's nice too. And so Jim even does his first version where the spectator, has a card forced to them. So, there's some elements to it where the spectators feel like they examined it even though they didn't. And then as far as when the trick is over, as far as reset goes, Jim will even show you how to reset the deck in front of the spectator. So it's pretty easy, actually, to reset it. And like I said, it pretty much does its own work. If you wanted to go off camera and reset the deck, take some time, you could. It wouldn't take you that long to do. It's only a couple of minutes. All right, so that is the Invisible Triumph from Jim Krenz and Vanishing Incorporated. Of course, if you have any questions about this effect or anything else related to magic or the magic industry, please don't hesitate to send us an email. We want your emails. We want to field your questions. You can send those all to support@magicshop.co.uk, and you can even check out our blog for tips and even more magic advice. And you can visit that at blog.magicshop.co.uk. Thanks. Bye.